The Lord has made all things new. Dear brothers and sisters, in today's Gospel passage, we hear of Jesus' encounter with the women on the morning of His resurrection. This encounter is a touching one, yet it is very brief. Jesus asks the women to tell His brethren to go to Galilee, where He would appear to them. The risen Lord wishes to have this first meeting with His disciples in Galilee. But why Galilee? There could be many reasons. Galilee was the place where Jesus lived for most of His life. By the Sea of Galilee, Jesus called His first disciples. It was in Cana of Galilee that Jesus performed His first miracle, and His disciples started to believe in Him. It might have surely been a place of deep personal significance for all of the disciples, as well as for Jesus Himself. Now, after the resurrection, Jesus was inviting them to return to the beginnings of their discipleship, to the place where their journey with Jesus began. Jesus invited them to revisit the beginnings because He wanted them to see everything again in the new light of the resurrection. This was to be a new phase in their discipleship, where they would see Jesus not merely in a human light, but as the glorified and victorious Son of God. However, Galilee was also a place held in low esteem in Palestine. It was largely a place of the poor, a place of Gentiles and uncultured people. And yet, it was in Galilee of the Gentiles that Jesus wanted His disciples to first encounter Him. The post-resurrection encounters of Christ were never very dazzling and spectacular public events. Rather, Christ chose to make Himself known in the most personal and most humble way possible, even after the resurrection. Dear brothers and sisters, we are in the midst of the celebration of Easter, where we experience the new life that the risen Lord has brought us. Yes, the Lord has made all things new. It is therefore a time for us to renew our discipleship of the Lord, since we have experienced Him in His glory and victory. It is also a time for us to go back to the very foundations of our faith in the Lord and to view every experience in the new light of the resurrection. At the Easter Vigil, the Church gives the faithful the opportunity to renew their baptismal promises, the faith which they might have professed several times before in their lives. For us Christians, this renewal should not be merely a liturgical act restricted to just one day in the year. Rather, we must continually renew ourselves, our faith and our entire lives in the risen Lord, especially in this season of Easter. St. Paul tells us in his second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 17. So if anyone is in Christ, there is a new creation. Everything old has passed away. See, everything has become new.